What's up guys, James here. Today we're back again. In this video, we're going to be playing some jungle Camille. I've been grinding out the Camille lately in the jungle, and it has been a blast, to say the least. Camille is definitely a very fun hero, especially at the one trick if you want a hero to one trick, just because it's a very high skill cap. There's a lot to learn, a lot of mechanics, and it just helps you improve overall. Your mechanics, decision making, everything. Plus Camille is just a very good champ all around. You have pretty solid late game. You can carry team fights if you play it right. Your ultimate is almost a guaranteed kill if you do use it right. And then you even have a good split push potential if you want to go the split push route. The one downside I'll say to jungle Camille is your clear speed. Like, look at how slow I'm clearing my camps and how much damage I'm taking. And I didn't get a leash this match, which kind of sucks. If you are playing a side lane, I definitely do recommend looking at who your jungler is, because some junglers, they just have really slow clears, and some of them have fast clears. Like the enemy Vi, they don't need a leash, but somebody like a Camille, their clear is really bad, and that's why I have to run Fleet on Camille actually, just because if I don't run Fleet, I'm going to be so low, which leaves me open to invades, and just makes it so I can't fight for Scuttle if I do run to the enemy jungler. So over here, notice where the enemy Vi is going. They're going straight to the Gromp, which means that they're only doing a one-sided jungle clear. They're only clearing their blue side jungle, and then they're going to go for the Scuttle on this side. So over here now, I'm deciding what to do. I don't see any really gankable lanes on this side. I'm looking at the top side and the mid, and both of those lanes were pushed in. They're looking pretty good, so I'm like, I might as well just farm to ult, so that's why I was going for a 4-camp clear. But I actually make the decision over here to go straight to Scuttle, and a really important reason is that look at where the Vi is. I know that they're on that Scuttle right now, and after they finish that Scuttle, where are they going to go? Their bot side, it's completely pushed in. That's not really a gankable lane. And then the mid is gankable, that's why I was trying to ping a little bit. But I know that they're going to probably come and check out the Scuttle, so that's why I skipped my blue actually, and I went straight here. Because Camille is relatively weak early. Like your base attacks, you just don't really do too much until you do get some items. So that's why I went straight for this, because this blue buff isn't going anywhere, I know. But again, it was pretty obvious that the only options that the Vi have after taking that Scuttle on the bot side is gank that bot side, which isn't going to happen just because they're sitting underneath turret. Gank that mid lane, which they did. And then from there, they can easily look towards this top Scuttle. And I really don't want to fight for that Scuttle just because, again, I'm relatively weak early, and a Vi that catches me off guard can probably kill me. So that's why I made that decision to just skip over it. And over here now, I'm just farming to level 5. Really, the only gankable lane I see was that bot side, because they were pushed in. Our mid has always had the priority. They've always had that pushed in, and then top was looking fine, so really bot side's the only opportunity that I saw, so I was like, I'll just farm to level 5 because they're all on the other side of the map and then look for gank. Because ganking pre-level 5, it's a little bit tough if you don't land your hook shot. And over here, I'm looking for my ult if I can get a good use out of it. I'm looking to have bot side again. And again, I was saying that this was probably going to be the most gankable lane just because they're always pushed in. But ganking that before ult, that's hard because the Israel can just dash out if they need to, blink out with their, I think it's their third ability. And now I'm really trying to look for ult if I can get something good, but again, this mid lane's always pushed in, so it's hard to gank that. Plus it's an Orianna, so they got the barrier and everything. It's a little bit tough, so now I just go back to my own jungle. And actually that Vi ganks the mid again. So if you are playing lane, make sure to keep an eye out for that, because if you always have your lane pushed in, you're going to be a really big target for junglers. Like, whenever that lane is pushed in and the enemy is overextended, that's when you want to be looking for those ganks. So now I'm like, okay, they're starting to fight. I have my ult, and I'm heading in. They're really low. I just ult this Orianna right away. I see the Vi's over here, so I'm able to just turn onto him. I use my smite for the damage. Still have my flash up, and we're pretty much just able to get 2 kills there. So again, the key part of jungle Camille is just don't force anything early if you don't have to. Because forcing it early and dying, that's how you fall behind and how you pretty much make jungle Camille like ineffective. Just because, again, as I said, your early game is relatively weak compared to some other junglers like Vi that can easily outmatch you. So again, just getting that ult and playing around your ult. Because with that ult, you can't even flash out of the ult, so it makes for very good ganks. And we'll see later on when I try and use this ult to catch other people out. So now we're grouping for this dragon. I'm like, we can start this up because we have all 5 here. Notice how our Baron laner rotated, theirs didn't. So now we have 5. And I'm not particularly trying to get the dragon. I'm just trying to bait the dragon, force him to come and engage onto us. That way we can look for something here. So that's why I'm starting this up, but it does get low and I'm able to just outsmite it. And see, now they're just put in a really uncomfortable spot. This Lux is kind of caught out. He's able to force him to back off. And now I finally have my ults back off cooldown. So I'm telling him to go back to topside. If you are a Baron laner and you're rotating, you should definitely try not to lose that first turret, because first turret is worth a lot of gold, first of all. And over here, I'm actually telling the Garen to just hard engage because I have my ult again. So this is like the ideal, like how you want to use your ult. If you catch somebody out like this and you can get a teammate to follow up, because a lot of times you might not have the damage by yourself, but with one teammate, 2 people can definitely take out a laner. So again, solo using the ult if just you on an enemy, like if I just used it by myself without that Garen, I wouldn't have gotten that kill at all. But if you know you have a teammate that can follow up, that's something to keep an eye on. So as I was saying, the first turret gold, it is worth a lot. People don't realize it, but it's worth 1,000 gold for your entire team. Each player gets 200 gold, plus the person who took the turret gets the extra gold from taking the plates and the turret itself. So that's like, I don't even know, probably like 1,500 gold in all. And that is a lot of gold, so if you can avoid it, definitely do keep an eye on that. And over here, I see that they're starting to engage. I'm looking at this, and it looks like they're kind of on the back foot. They got engaged on, so I see the Galio is now rotating, so I'm like, okay, maybe we could do something. I'm gonna ult back off cooldown. Our Galio wants to collapse on him. I'm keeping an eye out since I'm not sure because our support is kind of low. But we're able to just catch out this Orianna. Again, as I was saying, if you have a teammate that can follow up with you, that just makes it so much easier. Plus, if you can catch out these squishy laners like Orianna, Israel, Lux, it's significantly just easier to kill them. Whereas like ulting somebody like who's a Baron laner, Renekton, or like a Garen, for example, that's kind of, it's a bit harder to do, but you could definitely still do it. So now we're able to just take this Herald, just because we got the full advantage, really. And now I'm super far ahead of this jungler. That decision to just skip the blue buff for the Scuttle definitely helped us a lot. It got made the gold, it got us some vision on that river, and pretty much made it so I did not fall behind. Because giving up 2 Scuttles, both of them, that makes it really hard for a jungler to gank either lane, just because you don't have vision or that movement speed. And over here, now I'm not sure if we want to engage or not. I'm able to land my good ult. Over here, I barely lived that. That was a little bit of a risky engage, actually. I don't know if I should have done that, but hey, it worked out. We actually don't really have much range. That's kind of the problem there. I ulted the Orianna, but I don't think the Galio or Garen could get onto him. If we had somebody that was like more ranged, that would have been better probably for that. Because that is definitely harder to siege with melee champs. So now I see that Orianna is super low. But I'm pretty sure they're just backing off right now, so it's like I don't think I can do anything. I just go and clear this wave. If there are minions underneath the turret like this and you're a jungler, don't be scared to take him, or else the turret will just take him, because it's better you get him than nobody gets him. Sometimes laners ping you like, don't take it, don't take it. It's like the turret's about to kill it anyways. So here now I know I can 1v1 this Vi pretty easily. I accidentally screw up my hook shot there. It's not a huge deal though, I'm super fed. And yeah, there's a break in the gameplay. I got a phone call in the middle of this match, so I'm pretty sure we just got those kills and now we're getting the dragon. I can't put my phone on Do Not Disturb sometimes because when my parents are out of the house, I have to leave it on, because if my mom calls and I don't pick up, it doesn't matter what I'm doing, I'm gonna get in trouble, so I gotta pick it up if my mom calls. That's why I can't play on Do Not Disturb sometimes. But over here now, I have my ults back off cooldown. And again, if you have your ult, You want to be looking for the squishier carries, the ones that you can like for the squishier carries, you can definitely solo kill them by themselves, but like somebody like a Renekton would be much harder. So if I couldn't get onto the Lux or Israel or somebody, then that definitely works at this stage just because I'm so far ahead. And over here, my team is really just, we're kind of just snowballing this. Galio gets an ult in, and they're just chasing this down. The Israel was just pushing the bot side. Over here now, I'm actually heading to the top side turret. With Camille, once you get ahead, you can split push like crazy. Like, because one person can't kill you, plus with your hook shot, you can escape so many things. Plus, split pushing, it gets you so much gold. Like, people might not realize it, but you get so much gold from just taking a turret. So here, they're just trying to chase me down. They really can't. My first ability gives me extra movement speed. When you use the first charge for your first ability, you do get an extra movement speed, so that's something to keep in mind. Now, again, I'm just getting onto their ADC and just locking them down. They have no way out. That's pretty much just a cleanup. That happens a lot of times. People overextend if you're split pushing because they're going to keep on trying to chase you down, but they don't realize you can get out of there. And my phone is dying right now. But actually, there's this surrender here, and I'm going to do another match just because this was a really short one. So we'll get into next. Okay, we are back, and we're doing another match. So in this match, our Nasus was, I don't know what he's up to. But again, if you're playing jungle Camille, definitely do run fleet. I'd say it's pretty important, just because if you don't, you're going to get so low. Like right now, I'm healing up from fleet, and even then, it still takes me kind of low. Without fleet, you'd just take like 2 camps and then be pretty much done for. Also, start with your hook shot, because when you land the hook shot, you gain I think it's like 50% bonus attack speed, which is faster clear than your first ability at level 1. So do keep that in mind. If you don't do either of those things, then you're going to have a hard time clearing your jungle, and you're just going to screw yourself over pretty much from the very first minute. But if you are going to try jungle Camille, I definitely do just keep in mind early on, you are not the strongest. Like, just remember the last match when I was going into the Orion and the Vi, and they're both super low, but I still struggled. And over here now, I'm going to the Diana, get the good flash slow, and just like look at how little damage I do right now. And that's definitely the one downside to Camille. That in your early game jungle clear, but as long as you can get past that, once you get your ult, you're pretty much set. As long as you didn't fall too far behind or do anything reckless. So right now, I see that Scuttle is still up. I think we're actually jungling against a Fizz in this match. I've been seeing a decent amount of Fizz. People trying it out after the new patch. And I strongly dislike going up against Fizz. Just because if you get hit by the ults, then it hurts. Plus, for some reason, teammates have a tendency to run to you once they get hit by the ults and then get you killed too, which is pretty unfortunate. But again, now I'm level 5. I'm looking for ganks. That bot side, again, is really looking like the only gankable one, so that's actually where I'm headed. Because that top side, they just reset. They just killed each other, and then this mid is looking pretty slow. Nothing's really happening. That wave's pushed in too. Really do keep in mind the wave position when you are looking where to gank. Because with that wave pushed in mid, that's a tough gank. And over here now, I have ult. I see the Kennen Nasus. That guy's a little bit overextended. I'm starting to ping him on my way. And this Nasus, I don't know why he's telling me to retreat. I'm like, I have my ult up. We can easily go on to this, but so I do just go for this. Nasus, he wasn't even really trying. I don't think he wanted to go for this, which I don't understand. I maybe could have flashed for that. I probably could have now that I look at it. But I didn't want to die for it. Because again, the one thing you don't want to do is die early and then just fall behind on jungle Camille, because then that's going to put you in a really tough spot. So I was just like, I got this Nasus and breathing room in lane. I'll just go back and farm my jungle. But yeah, if you are playing with the Camille, definitely keep in mind if they have that ultimate up, be ready to engage if they do ult. And see, that's again what I was talking about. If you engage like that by yourself, it's so much harder to kill them than if you have a teammate that can follow up with you. Because if that Nasus ready, I don't know if he had flash or not, or what he was up to, but if he'd followed up, that would have been a free kill there. So now I'm heading towards the dragon side that's about to spawn. I kind of want to wait for my ult. That's something to keep in mind if you can have your ult up for these dragon fights. I'm like, they gotta watch out here. And I'm kind of being a little cautious here because look at their team comp. They have such good ults, like Fizz ult to Diana ult, Braum ult. They have so much potential with that. So that's why I'm like being really careful. And this is one thing that sometimes annoys me about the game is that the field of view is very, very small. I can't see what's going on up there. And I have to like pan, which is really annoying to like have to move with your stick and then pan at the same time. I actually changed something in the settings for that, but that fight actually turned out really well. We did a good job with that. I didn't even have to use my ult actually. But I changed something in the settings. I think it's like the eye thing. I forgot what it's called, but I'll definitely show it in the next video. And the cannon gets a super good rotate in here. He's able to get, who did he get? He got the Ashe. And then the Fizz comes in and just cleans it up. I have to flash out. I barely lived this. But again, as I was saying, look at Nasus. He's just pushing that bot side turret, and he's going to get that first turret here. And I'm completely fine with that because one, they aren't getting that dragon right now, so it's not even like we gave up the drag for that. Plus, Nasus got so much gold from that, which is really important because Nasus definitely needs to reach that late game. He needs his items to do something, so it's not a horrible trade. And now I'm like, we got to go mid. I don't know why our mid laner is engaging top, but that's not worth it. They should have just came mid. Try to save the turret. I tried to save the turret, but it's definitely way too late. And now I'm in a weird spot. I can't fight a Diana yet. They're super strong. I was able to... they kind of wasted their ult there, so it's fun. But yeah, they're just fighting it up in top lane. But again, that gave Diana a lot of gold, which we shouldn't have done in my opinion. We shouldn't have given up that turret. Probably wasn't worth it. But yeah, when that Kennen actually came to gank me, or when he came at that dragon, I tried to use my ult to dodge the stun since I knew he ulted, so I tried to dodge the stun, but the duration wasn't long enough. But still, that's something you can keep in mind. You can use that ult to dodge damage. So if you see a big ability coming at you, you can just ult onto somebody and completely dodge it. I think I did it last match when Lux threw something at me. I was able to ult and completely just dodge it. But you could do a lot of stuff with that. And over here, I'm just trying to save the Ashe. And we were barely able to. And now this, I see that this Diana is over here. And I'm just seeing if we can get him. They flash out, so I'm like, okay, that's fun. And now we're starting to, I see Nasus is on his way, so I'm like, okay, we could do this. Because we're going to have all 5 of us here in a sec. But Nasus just farmed that mid wave. So I accidentally used my third ability instead of my second one, so I just trolled my hook shot, and now I don't have a good engager escape. But Nasus is finally coming in. But I'm like way too low, so I'm like, I'll just push this wave in. And he's pretty much able to clean that up, which is nice. Over here I'm like, do I engage? Do I not? I don't know what to do. I'm super low, so I just decide I'm going to die too if I go in there, because there's 3 of them full health. But I definitely think if Nasus would have came earlier, since we didn't have too much DPS on that dragon, we could have gotten that so much faster, and then just gotten out of there without having to take a fight. You know, I'm just trying to defend this turret if I can, but trying to get around this Braum, force this Kai'Sa out. Wave clear this up. Have my ult off cooldown. I see my teammates are pinging. I just flash ult him and then get the barrier from our perk and just try and run and stay alive while they're trapped in my ult. So that was a good pick there. And now there's 3 of them still topside for some reason. I guess they're just leaving the mid lane. Let's see, they're pushing that second tier mid turret. They gotta watch out for that Diana. Because if that Diana rotates on him, that could be bad. So now I'm keeping an eye on Herald. I don't know what they're up to. Their jungler's topside, so I'm pretty sure they aren't doing it. So that's why I actually head here. Because I'm like, their jungler's topside. Me and the Nasus can fight this, I'm pretty sure. Since I think the Nasus can actually beat out Diana. But I decided to just dip it, actually, because I was like, it's not worth it going for that risk. So instead, I just go for split pushing. Again, that is another thing you could do on Camille if you are ahead. Just split push. And I was actually experimenting with teleport on Camille. I'm not sure if I'm going to run on Camille yet or not. I wasn't sure what enchantment I was going to do. But right now, I'm pretty sure that they're like rotating on me. I saw the Kaisa was heading this way, so I'm like, okay, I'll just leave this out. And yeah, I just completely dip. Like, look at that mobility. It's just so hard to chase down Camille. But I was saying, your ultimate, you could use that to dodge some really nice things. Like, I think you could actually use it to dodge the Vi ult. I was keeping an eye out for that last match. I'm not entirely confident if you can, but I think you can. You should be able to in theory because you dodge anything. But now again, as I was saying, if you can isolate a squishy target, especially at this stage in the game, you can kill him by yourself. You don't need anybody with you. Especially if you aren't behind at least. So over here, like, I don't even really need the Nasus here. That's just a free kill. And now I'm just pushing out this wave. I could definitely be playing solo lane Camille. That's actually probably the better one if you want to go for split push oriented more so. But I want to work on jungle a bit, so that's why I'm playing jungle Camille. And over here, I'm not sure if they're gonna contest or not. I think they're pushing that mid side. I see the Aurelia is back up, so I'm like, the Aurelia can defend the mid, and we'll just push this turret. So yeah, again, the Nasus needs to get out because Nasus doesn't have any good escapes. I do. I could just dance around this entire map, and there's nothing they could do about it. Especially once you're fed. If you get Guardian Angel or something. So that's actually why I'm running right now. I'm going for Trinity Force, Sterix, and then Guardian Angel. So here I'm like, do I go for teleports? I'm like, I'll just get teleports just for... I think this was actually my first match that I tried out teleport. I don't think I even used it this match, actually. I don't remember. Guess we'll see. But yeah, the dragon's spawning up again, so again, I'm just pushing out these waves, getting in position, looking to see if I can get an ult onto somebody. And I see this Aurelia is trying to catch somebody out. Got out the Fizz, which is good. If you can get a Fizz on the back foot, that's great, because if he like gets accidentally threw him backwards, I did not mean to do that. But if he gets ahead of you and he's the one engaging onto you and he lands a good ult, you're in for a rough time. So right now I'm just starting up this dragon. I know they're just distracted with them pushing in mid-wave, so I'm like, I could easily just take this. Nobody's going to really be able to contest. Now again, I'm just going back to the top side. I know my team can handle themselves. In between dragons is a very good time to split push because it's hard to do Baron. First of all, teams are not coordinated in general. Like, if they see somebody topside, they won't start up Baron right away. Especially in just normal ranked. Only in like competitive matches that'll happen probably, but over here, you could just pretty much just push down these turrets. And if somebody dies, like if your team mispositions or something while you're gone, and one of them dies, it's not the end of the world just because there's nothing up for them to do. Like, they can try Baron, but it's a little bit hard, and you could probably contest him because, again, I'm ahead of him this match, so I can contest pretty well if one of them even does get caught out. Plus, if I'm pushing this side of the map, it's going to be hard for them to go to Baron just because I'm putting so much pressure on this side. And there's no dragon up for them to do, so there isn't too much. But again, as I was saying, my team kind of is inting a bit. I think they're starting to win now. I don't know. But I'm just pushing these side turrets. This Diana's here, they're really low, and I'm just like, okay. Don't want to do it. I didn't know they had stasis, so yep, I just get that. I didn't want to use my hookshot actually to engage because I actually didn't realize, or I didn't want anybody else to rotate on me. If somebody else rotated on me, I would have just used that hookshot to get out of there. If I use my hookshot to engage like that, then I don't have any escape. So that's why I was trying to hold on to it. Now I'm just clearing out the jungle on the way out. I almost have the inhib turret. If you can get an inhib turret, that's very nice. So now I get the teleport, get the guardian angel too, adds so much gold. See, as I was saying, split pushing, it'll keep you ahead. It'll make it so you don't fall behind, just because you get so much gold from farming up these minions, plus you're getting the turret gold. So my team's just pushing, and again, I'm just going back up to that inhib turret, I think. I'm pretty sure that my team can handle themselves this match, just because the scoreline doesn't look like we're too hot, but I'm pretty sure we're doing pretty well this match. So this Nast is just pushing the bot side, I'm just pushing this top side. If you're a teammate in this case, keep an eye on the map, see what your teammates are doing. They should see that that we're just, both of us are just putting pressure on these lanes. And they should not go for all ins. And try to play a little bit more safe. Because that's a mistake a lot of people do. I don't know, I'm just farming up these minions at this point, I don't even know what I'm doing. I should just definitely leave here, but I don't know why I'm doing that. I think I'm trying to track down this Diana. But team was able to clean him up. And me and the Nasus were just both able to push both of the inhib turrets on the side lanes. Now it's just mid left. And with 2 inhib turrets down, it's just so hard to do anything. And now we're pushing on to this last one. And we're pretty much going to get it here. And once you get 3 inhib turrets, the waves are just always pushing in. There's really nothing you could do. Yeah, but just look at these waves. They're just going to pressure them in the entire time. I don't really surrender, but like, I don't surrender much. But in this case, like, there are very rare cases that I'll actually surrender. If I lose 3 inhib turrets and I'm down 2 dragons, there's probably not much that can happen. I think we still have most of our turrets up. We lost the first tier mid turret, I think. We lost first tier mid turret and first tier bot turret, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, their team's just... they probably, some of them want to surrender, some of them don't. So I'm actually staying on this dragon. Gotta make sure to smite it. No, wait, actually, I don't even think I was trying to smite it. I was like, I think they just gave up at this point. Over here, I'm just going for whatever I want. Over here, I didn't realize he had stasis. Or, I should have realized that. I'm pretty sure he used it earlier on me, actually. I should have kept that in mind. I have Guardian Angel, so that's why I'm not too worried about going for these crazy dives, just because I know I'm still covered. And yeah, now we're just cleaning up, really. Yeah, this was a really good snowball. We did well at the dragon fights. We were able to get kills. We scaled right. We kept our gold lead. That's a mistake a lot of people do, is they'll get a gold lead, but then they won't keep it up. But anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't. And leave a comment down below, and I'll see you all in the next video.